Earlier this year, my local LEGO store in Toronto actually had to move from its current location in the Yorkdale Mall to a different store. When they did that move, they underwent a massive transformation of the store, bringing in a new concept that has only been seen before in flagship locations, and as part of this big switch, they drastically changed the pick-a-brick wall, and that's what this video is about today. If you would have caught the video I uploaded a few weeks ago, I talked all about the new changes to the LEGO store and how they're starting to roll that out across all LEGO stores in the world. But today, we are focusing solely on the pick-a-brick wall because I've got some opinions. So a few weeks ago was actually the first time I ever visited this new concept of a LEGO store here in Toronto. I had seen this store concept before at some flagships in like Barcelona and New York City. I know the London one recently converted to it as well. But so far this store concept has really been reserved for these flagship stores, and I noticed the pick-a-brick wall was smaller at these stores, but I didn't expect it to happen here at my local LEGO store. When they underwent the renovations earlier this year, my LUG Discord just blew up when everybody saw the pick-a-brick wall for the first time, because it's probably half or a third of the size that it used to be. The pick-a-brick wall traditionally used to span the entire back of a LEGO store and was basically just a wall completely full of LEGO parts. However, now they basically transitioned to it's on the side of the LEGO store, and it's quite a bit smaller than it used to be, using a totally new style of clear bricks. I was pretty shocked when I first saw this because the pick-a-brick wall used to be one of my favorite things about going to the LEGO store, and like I said, my LUG was ticked off because of how much smaller it got. After visiting the LEGO store for the very first time today, I will say that some of my complaints are still valid. However, there are some things that I don't actually mind about the pick-a-brick wall, so let's get right into it. So for starters, you guys can see from all of the footage here how much smaller the wall actually is. Instead of using the traditional pick-a-brick wall style, they use these square cubes, which all the bricks actually go inside. It was pretty neat because I was there when the LEGO employee was actually refilling it, so I actually got to see how they completely remove the bricks, that like, you know, the module there, and they actually could turn it on its side to add bricks through the tops and then put it back into place, which was pretty neat. So personally, the biggest thing that I was worried about by seeing a smaller pick-a-brick wall was bad part selection. You guys know that a lot of the pick-a-brick parts on the current wall at the store are a lot of basic bricks, you know, 2x4s, 2x2s, plates, yada yada yada, things that are more so filler bricks. I was worried that if they have a much smaller wall, all these filler bricks are going to dominate the wall, and it's just not going to be something that I want to pick up. However, when I went there earlier, I was able to get this cup here, and I would say the parts included were pretty decent. I was talking to the LEGO store employee, and they were actually saying that because the wall is a lot smaller, they basically have to maximize the parts that they put on the wall. So instead of pulling those, you know, more basic filler bricks on it, they actually just leave the wall for specialty pieces. This means that because the wall is smaller and because they're only having more specialty pieces, there's actually a lot of turnover on the bricks. They're not sitting on the wall for months and months like they used to. They're going pretty fast because they'll put a box in, they have that one box, and the AFOLs will come in and clean it out because it's a good piece, and then another box for a different piece goes in the wall. So that was one thing I wasn't really expecting to hear because I just assumed that they would be getting less good parts, but according to the LEGO store, they're actually getting the same amount of good parts. It just looks like less because they cut out all the crap filler bricks, which I thought was interesting. One major complaint that I do have about it though is just the sheer size of how small it is. If you are trying to be there and packing parts, it's going to be nearly impossible to do. One, because there's no table or anything like that anymore, and two, because it's just such a small area. If you get 2 or 3 AFOLs in there at once, good luck trying to do anything. So first off, back to the table. Because you guys know that the pick-a-brick wall used to be at the back of a LEGO store, there used to be the cash wrap right in front of it, and then a whole ledge back there where you could bring out extra parts, you could set your pick-a-brick cups, you could kind of set up a sorting station or like a stacking station and really get to work. Now with the new concept of the wall, there is no space next to the wall where you can put parts. The only place that you can actually do any stacking or sorting or anything like that is on top of the LEGO set boxes right beside the wall. There is a display there, a circle display where you could, I guess, theoretically stack stuff as well. But even when I was there and the LEGO store employee was trying to refill the pick-a-brick wall, there were kids constantly coming up and trying to grab the sets behind where they had their boxes stacked on the display. It was not very, you know, user-friendly, and as I said, almost impossible to stack. I was stacking this cup here and I was having to walk about 5 to 10 steps away from the actual pick-a-brick wall to set my cup here on an actual LEGO shelf and pack it and stack it and things like that. With this new pick-a-brick wall, they certainly don't want you to be doing any stacking or anything like that, as it seems, which is kind of annoying. And I told them I really miss having the table right there, and they agreed, because now they don't even have a place for them to put their boxes. Another thing I thought was really interesting about the pick-a-brick wall is they actually had a designated section for cups. I didn't actually see any small cups there, but they had like a sleeve for the large cups and a sleeve for the lids. I thought this was interesting that they included this, because the Lego store is supposed to be switching to boxes sometime soon, so I don't know why they have a spot for the cups when they know that they're not going to be using it in the near future. It really is a shame that they reduced the size of the pick-a-brick wall, still in my opinion, even though theoretically the bricks are turning over faster and it's actually a better selection, just because I really enjoyed looking at the Lego store with such a big pick-a-brick wall, and I think it makes it a lot harder for Lego fans now to actually stack. You can't really spend an hour stacking parts in there like you used to be. At the same time, like say you went on a Saturday, it's really busy at the Lego store. You were basically at the back of the store by yourself packing pick-a-brick. If you didn't want pick-a-brick, there was no reason for you to go behind the cash. Now, because it's in the middle of the store, you're going to be stacking your pick-a-brick cup, and people are going to be bumping into you. They're going to be getting in your way. They're going to be walking right through where you're trying to part out. And like I said, good luck if there's more than one person in there at once trying to stack. It will be a nightmare. I was told that a lot of AFOLs were really complaining when they first came into the store, but then when they saw how much more frequently the parts were changing over, I guess it's starting to win them over a little bit. So I guess the more and more I go to the Lego store and see parts there, like I said, of the couple dozen parts that were on the wall, a lot of them were pretty good. There wasn't just a lot of really basic bricks and things like that. So I am happy about that, just because with smaller space, they can't leave it on the wall as much. So it's definitely been a very interesting thing so far, but I definitely would say my first concept when I saw the pick-a-brick wall was embarrassing, and I did not like it whatsoever. Lego could definitely improve the experience a little bit more if they added a table back and made it a little bigger so Lego fans could do more stacking. But one of the main reasons I like to go to the Lego store is for the pick-a-brick wall. Any of the sets basically in the store, I could get online, I could get at another store, I could get at Walmart, whatever it may be. The reason I want to go to the Lego store is because they've got the BAM section and the pick-a-brick wall. So Lego, definitely don't take away the pick-a-brick wall. Maybe reconsider making it so small for smaller stores, but weigh the pros and cons, because I guess if it is providing better parts, maybe this smaller size is worth it. But I still think you could make it a better experience in store for Lego fans by adding a table and things like that to help us stack better. All in all, I was pretty surprised when I first saw the pick-a-brick wall, but after hearing the Lego store employees' justification on it and a little bit of positivity around the parts, I kind of understand why they did what they do. I think it looks really good. If only it was just a little bit bigger and had a proper area where AFOLs and TFOLs and whoever wants to stack cups could stack their cups, because right now it's just not conducive to that whatsoever. I literally was holding my cup most of the time, trying to fit parts in, then I'd walk around, then I'd tap it down, and it just wasn't a great experience overall. The old one definitely used to be better by having that ledge there, but a lot of Lego stores are going to be transitioning to this new model very soon, so I hope they reconsider and don't completely screw up the pad wall for everybody, because it's certainly an interesting concept that I don't want to lose. Anyway, you guys will have to let me know down in the comments below what you think of this new Lego pad wall. It certainly looks pretty interesting, but I'm just not too sure how it's going to hold up, and I guess I have to visit a few more times before I can confidently agree with the Lego store employee that the parts turnover is very good and is actually better for AFOLs. So we'll have to see. Anyway, you guys, thanks again for watching, and I'm looking forward to seeing you all here in the next video.